Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Connect Short-Term Rental Walkthrough. This is a deal walkthrough with our community. We're super excited about this one. I'm joined by my co-host, Jason, Big Jerry, and Red, of course, and myself. What's going on, brother, fellas? How you guys feeling?
Oh man,
Wow, you guys sound great.
oh man, Chinadu does it again, right? So it's always exciting to see him put together a deal. He's always creative, always thoughtful, and always making it make sense, not moving in the direction of incompleteness. I love the way he put together his deal. So this is going to be exciting.
For sure. Jay, you on mute. There you go.
I know. I was waiting for Big Jerry to finish talking about the excitement, all this good stuff. So it's all good. So what's up, everyone here? Welcome in. Congratulations for getting yourself here to this event to learn more about how our community operates and more importantly, how we have different success stories showcasing different people within the community doing different strategies and deals. This is our one of our younger guys in the community, and he goes by the name of Chinadu. Awesome guy. We call him the human sponge because when he came in, he just was so open to absorbing the information. The one thing I do love about him is, as Gary was also saying, he likes to rinse it out. And basically, what I mean by that is implement all of the stuff he's absorbing and putting it out there in the world, and he's starting to receive the results that he's been looking for. So I'm not going to really talk much further, but I just want to turn it over to our guy Chinadu. Let them know where you're from, quick background, of course, and what brought you into this wild world of real estate investing.
Nice. Yeah, my name is Chinadu Emasibe. I'm from Queens, New York, originally from Nigeria. I'm 29 years old. And man, I think I've been in the real estate game for about, what year are we? 2026? So about like 4 years, I give or
Yeah,
take,
something like
4 years. Wow. Yes, 4 years I've been in real estate. And I remember that like I was really going to be a lawyer in the college thing, doing everything I was told, middle class, so the path was kind of set already. You just not accepting it and being frustrated with my lifestyle and seeing how people around me are living and how my mom is living and things like that. You want to kind of more. So I joined the entrepreneur route. You're just learning new things and being fed up with getting from jobs and having just limited options. Just wasn't a fan of it. So I linked up with these guys right here after running and after fighting myself on it, knowing that this was the right decision, and you took me in and brought me out of confusion and doubt and a bit of awkwardness, right? And turned me into who I am today, helped me on my path of doing real estate and helping others and being able to support my lifestyle and my family and grow through the process. Very grateful 4 years later to still be here despite, challenges and having a very late start. I am the young dude. I'm 29 right now, but I feel like I got into it pretty late, and being able to share with you guys that there is a different path to success than we've been exposed to growing up. I'm not sure where everybody's from, but yeah, I'm just happy to continue sharing strides I'm making on my mission, and hopefully to help somebody else on the way as well.
All right. Real quick though, before Ron's about to take over, like one quick question. You said you've been involved for about 4 years. Like for the people to hear, because some of them said a lot of people here are new, don't know us. So about how many transactions and what type would you start from, and then to where you are? You don't gotta give, but like what type of strategies within real estate where you done?
Yeah, cool thing about real estate is that there's so many strategies, right? So, um, getting started early on, I think my first couple of months, I started doing wholesaling. It attracted me. I didn't know much about the deal, but I started wholesaling because I didn't really know the money part. So I started off with wholesaling. I did a few deals there, and then I got into long-term rentals. I'm still a landlord now, partnered up with in a community to buy long-term rentals. So that was great. And now I
He's
have kind of
here.
yeah, my Ryan. So it's cool to, with a network of investors where you can what you're lacking. At that time I felt like I was lacking in confidence. So it was definitely cool to partner up with someone who was doing deals, actively looking at real estate to kind of with somebody and get some deals under my belt as well for the ownership route. And now primarily focus on short-term rentals, which is the strategy I'm presenting today, in kind of my niche and where I've been seeing most of my success. But I still dabble in other strategies, they come up. So it's, one thing I've learned is to be a transaction engineer, able to understand the deal and seeing all the ways to kind of down and execute.
Does he do that? He can finagle it. Anyways, let's get into it. Before we get into the deal, let me go into you can follow him. He's a real person. He's always showcasing what he's doing. So you can see we're not just fly by nights. This is how he lives his life, and this is what he does. You can follow him on all social media. Before we get in, we'll give a disclaimer because I'm not going to promise you anything, but we about action. So this example of real estate is achieved by applying real estate investing education and seeking guidance and support, but is not representation of typical outcomes. Individual results vary depending upon many different factors. Each real estate investment result is unique as real estate itself. And with that being said, Chin, tell us about this little ditty.
Nice. Okay. This is a property right here in Athens, Georgia. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath with like extra rooms, and it was pretty cool. In this city already, regulations are getting kind of tight. So, property was one I couldn't turn down because it was zoned commercial. Single family residential house zoned commercial was not that easy to come across. So this house used to be a assisted living center, actually. It was currently being rented out as assisted living, older people. I think they had about like older people here just taking care of them. And this is how the house looked like when it was presented to me from the landlord, by the landlord. Outdated, cabinets didn't look good. It was outdated. The floor plan was kind of funky. Those bathrooms, bathrooms is older than me, like and design and even the floors, that's like bathroom floors, doctor's office vibes. So everything was just, about this deal when I saw it made me say, okay, it's gonna be, money maker that it is right now. So you just happen to have a good relationship with the owner of this property. I think between me and 3 other team members, you rent out about 5 properties from the same guy. So when this came on the market and it was vacant, he shot it to me first and we spoke about it. And first, I'm not going to ruin the surprise with the numbers, but at first he wanted X amount of dollars, right? And I asked him, like, can you make some upgrades? Because, we do here, man, like running a hospitality business, we want to, only command top dollar, but give people a good experience while they're traveling for whatever reason, vacation, business, things of that nature. So, I was open to it. And he gave me a nice proposition and he said, for every $1,000 they spend in renovation, they need to raise the rent by $30. And it was like, oh, that's it? It was a perfect deal for us to, negotiating. And I gave him a list of things that we would like to, like the kitchen and the bathroom and the flooring and the cabinets and like some miscellaneous stuff that made the house look outdated and ugly. Had like, I don't know if you can see, but it had like signs everywhere. It was actually a business, so landlord was definitely open to that, and just some videos of how the property used to look before. Well, this is mid setup. So you'll probably see some differences. So this is my handyman team after we ordered all the items on Amazon and signed the lease. And as you see, the kitchen looks a little different, but you'll get a better picture of it. So right now it looks like a chaotic mess, man. The cool thing about in the same city is that you build that trust and camaraderie with your team. So on this setup, I actually did not go down for the setup whatsoever. Everything was staged virtually right here from Queens, New York, just quarterbacking while the team did everything. And then my assistant kind of like make sure that they were on track and got their questions answered.
Are those king size beds in both of them?
You know what? I'm so upset about that, man, because in all 3 bedrooms, I have one king size bed and the other ones are one is full, one is a queen. Because when I was
Oh,
speaking to ChatGPT and I gave it the room dimensions, it was like comfortably sizes will fit. But after setting it up, I'm like, yo, we could have definitely threw some king beds in there. So I was kind of upset. Like this could easily be the king bed right here, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Was definitely upset about those dimensions because we have way more in space than
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me Chat GPT gave you incorrect information?
Yeah, bro, it did. It told me the full-size bed would be perfect for that bedroom. It would still have space for two nightstands, but even you'll see after pictures, we did way more space. So yeah, ChatGPT definitely gave me some incorrect right.
And just real quick, Chan, what's your thing about king size beds? Like, what is that for you? What does that mean?
Well, a few things, right? Because one, right, the is to give people an experience that they don't get to experience on a daily basis, right? Like I live in a two-bed, two-bath apartment in New York City. If I'm going on vacation, I want something I can't get at home, right? So a lot of people don't have space for a king bed or can't afford a king bed or just don't have one, you know. So having that amenity while they're on vacation is a plus because now they get to experience a new lifestyle. Another reason for a king bed is that it fits people. So you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this too, but there might be three people on that king bed, maybe even four people. Um, it's just a luxury amenity to have a king bed mattress, king bed frame. That always drives revenue up. If I'm head to head for somebody without a king bed.
Nice.
Good question. Cool. So yeah, this is after, this is right here. This is what we did to the living room. Landlord repainted the walls, he repainted the front door. He made the floors look all shiny again. Shout out to the GPT photos, or even Manus, I should say.
I
Shout out
love
to
it.
Manus, yeah. So we was way longer than the right. Typically, I'm in and out in the city setting up in like a week, from furniture to setting up to photography to online a week tops. But man, I I leased for this deal in November for it to start January 1st, and this house has only been on the market for like a week now, so it may be like 30 to 45 days just to get it set up. So I photo shoot just rushing, right? After we did the photo shoot, I showed my fiance Malia, and she was like, well, I thought something was missing, and I showed it to her. She was like, why didn't you add a coffee table in the living room? So this wasn't here. There was so many things that I was missing because I was just trying to rush and get it on the market that we already did the photo shoot. So once we added like the small stuff like this coffee table and uh put actual on the TV because this is a football town, and we added just had my handyman take a picture of the same area, and then we just put it on AI and edit it. So this is a kitchen, new cabinets, new appliances, way better than the first ones. This is one of the rooms with
Hey,
I
you
think
just
this is a
dropped the
queen
jewel
bed.
right there. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
everything. Those who heard it.
yeah, this only king size bed in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he switched up the bathroom, new cabinets, new tub, new everything, new mirror, new vanity, new lights.
How many square feet in beds and bath you said?
It's a four two bath and it's 2,400 square foot.
Yeah, I think big. Two
Yeah,
fulls or one and a half?
two fulls.
Oh man.
Yeah, two fulls. So this shower door right here, right? So I didn't consider changing the shower door. I don't know if you guys saw it before, but it's the old school sliding doors, the ones you can't see through it, and it's like silver and real old. So that's what was here. And at the end, we saw metal was kind of like rusty, like water stains and this hydration, and it was bad and not pleasing. We tried to clean it with like alcohol and bleach and stains wouldn't come out. So I went back to the landlord and was like, hey, I know I mentioned this before, but you changed the shower door. And he was like, we did more room in the budget based on what you said you could pay. So at the end, we just shower door and just had my handyman replace it. I think this cost me like $800, to change the door, get everything regrouted and things like that. But I think this was a fantastic investment to what it used to look like and what I'm trying to charge the market. This changing this shower door was a no-brainer. Um, and this is the entertainment area. This is what I wanted to be like the bread and butter. So we did the photo shoot and everything, and I looked at it and it looked so plain and empty. So we moved the chairs from back here to up there. We changed it from tan to black. We spray painted the entire ceiling from white to black, and then we added like games like this right here, kind of just to fill up some empty spaces. And this was kind of like another just to an office. Since we're by a school, we get a lot of people coming to the school, whether it's students, sports teams, things like that. So we put like two desks, a TV, and then this pull-out couch that turned into like a king size
I love the office, man. That's fire. That's fire.
backyard. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So this is a completed video walkthrough, all the and this is my handyman taking a video of the house. Yeah, so there was many blemishes in the house that was definitely like just really not as pleasing. So I'm definitely happy that the landlord was willing to work with us, just understanding the business model, knowing that we need this house at a, at a
I look at the before pictures. I was like, uh-oh. You sure? And I'm like,
I even questioned myself. I'm like, man, Chin, this is no, is this right? Like I was myself. Like I really moved on it because of how strict the city was getting and what this house was zoned as, So if I listen right now and just locked in a long-term lease and I can turn it around, I know that my competition will be like there will be competition because of that.
You said long-term lease.
Yes, long-term lease. So I'm the tenant. I did not buy this property. This is called Arbitrage, where I rent it, sublease it on these platforms like Booking.com, VRBO, Google Vacation. Just hire them, renting it for. So it was a good startup with small cash, putting 20% down and getting my credit check pulled and just in a house that, worst case I perform. So I kind of just get to drive the property and see what it'll do, see if my projections are accurate.
yeah, I love the space though. I like the space.
See, your game is cold too because I didn't know it was a thing. If you don't have a mirror right there, like
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that,
Yeah, the ladies, even the fellas too, but the ladies definitely like the mirrors, multiple mirrors and locations. I don't know if you guys seen, but we even changed up the floor. Like we put like stick in the bathroom floor, things like that.
I gotta check that out. I didn't see that. Okay.
yeah, I thought those were like little rugs. You talking about a little reddish, whatever those things was on the floor? Yeah, they looked like rugs.
Yeah, there was definitely some good amount of challenges with this house. Like I had a big problem, like ants,
Hmm.
like below. Like every time they went to the house to do touch ups or the handyman, there's just dead ants in the shower, bro. We don't know
Oh man.
where they were coming from. We don't know how they was dying, but we just had the landlord put like those doors, all the doors, like brand new ones, Home Depot, and then that stopped all the. What else did we have? So because this house is an older home, right? So I'm going to tell you guys all the bad stuff as well, right? Just to set the what could happen, but most importantly to overcome it, right? Yeah, there's going to be the goal is to overcome the problems because they're not that big. Um, what else happened? So this is an older house. It has baseboard, and in this house there is 7 meters, like not meters, seven, right? So each bedroom has a thermostat. The hallway has a thermostat. This room has a thermostat. And the month of February, it was the coldest it's ever been in this city. I'm talking about it hasn't snowed in the city since 1990, they said. But lucky for me, in February, and this is when we don't have any guests, we're still setting up. The house is guests because it was cold. My handyman had the heat turned up on the thermostats, and my first electric bill was like $1,100, man. I was shit, bro. I was like, bro, I ain't even start making money yet on this house. I gotta throw out $1,100. I'm calling the water, trying to see what's going on. And they're like, yo, your heat is too high. So that's definitely something I learned about older houses to be aware of stuff like that. And I definitely would have had in there for the landlord to either switch it to like central air or, switch the thermostat, some smart thermostats, which we're gonna do now just so we can control the air in the house to make sure that it's not, higher than it should, but most importantly, not running when there's nobody there. So that was something new I learned on this one. Just be aware of things like that because that heat bill crazy yeah, let's roll in. Permit process on this was crazy too, but we'll keep speaking as come up. So the knowledge, right? Like I said, I've been on this journey for about 4 years now, and man, I've learned so much, not just about rentals, but what it means to be an entrepreneur and what it means to be a real estate investor and the mindset to pair it with the knowledge, is so important. This is enough. I've invested in myself to continue learning how to be a better short-term rental operator, Airbnb operator. And I've packaged my experience and everything I've learned and everything I've paid for, to invest in and put it all into one thing. So this is what I'm learning from now. This has been the play that I've been running since 2024. Everything that you see here, like this house was worth doing. Like even if it looked, outdated and it be a assisted living center, like knowing what amenities and features to put in the house and how much I should pay for the rent and how to make sure that I don't have competition and, how to negotiate the rental concessions. Like I was able to get 1 free month, which is why I was sweating that it took us 30 to 45 days because that first month I had no payment. So I took an asset with no money down, had no payment for my first month, so that was pretty just how to raise the funds for it because I didn't have cash, liquid cash to go and do this deal. So, everything that I strategy to bring it from idea to what we're seeing right here, that's everything that's in here to start cash flowing this business.
What's the thing about concessions that you just been talking about? Like, cause what does it mean to now?
Gotcha. Concessions is the standard. That's what it means. So concessions is no longer a negotiation tactic I'm asking for. It's the standard. And I teach, everybody who's a short-term rental nation or that's taken the summit that always ask for concessions because, it's beautiful. Man. Having expenses, right? Having your biggest expense is cut for 1 month minimum. Imagine what that do cash flow. Imagine what that does for when you want to take a summer vacation and now you got some extra cash laying around or, something like that. Concessions is the standard. You need rental concessions, minimum 1 month free, 2 months even better, right? But it's definitely a great close strategy. And also it's good if you're strapped for cash, lower your startup costs, not having to pay with first month's rent. But there's a lot of strategies in there on how to structure your rental concessions and how to ask for 1 month free and how to make it a no-brainer. It's
So,
like,
so
why would somebody give you that?
is it just, are you saying with concessions only if you're doing the arbitrage or if you purchase it, like, or like, are you saying that you should ask for concessions, but if you're just doing it by arbitrage, you shouldn't, or it should be standard across the board?
So I think I'm in this instance, I'm talking just arbitrage, but I want to say standard across the board, because the one thing my mentor told me, he was like, the second worst thing that can happen is they say no. And the first worst thing that can happen is that they would have said yes, but you didn't find out because you didn't ask, right? So I would definitely, the best thing they can say yes. Good question. Nice. Yeah, keep the questions coming in the chat. I think we're getting close to Q&A. Are you gonna take it from here?
Yeah, I'll take it from here. So, hold on 1 second. So, we've talking about this community we have here, and this is the community we built. We meet every day. We are real estate maniacs. So, if you want that kind of support and guidance, whoever invited you here can show you how to get access to be a part of this team, the community, and get that training, that one-on-one experience from team members to get that support in your guidance in your investing. Like as you can see, take a screenshot of the calendar. We can talk more about that when you get with the person who invited you. And also we have this, which is coming up tomorrow. You can talk more about that, but this is something that Chin brought up, the STR Nation weekly calls. I love them. It's a must see for me, but tell them what it means to you, Chin.
And yeah, this call is, this is what becomes real. Pairing this with the summer, you have the night, and then you have somewhere to feel sane. Entrepreneurship is kind of lonely sports, no one's cheering you on. So being able to hop on a call every Thursday to justify to get another set of eyes on the deals that you're looking at, to help you negotiate on deals and run your numbers and not feel alone doing this strategy. This is where you want to be at. Come and let's look at some short-term rentals. Sometimes I give out some opportunities to my team members if I can't take the deal down. So if short-term rentals is something you're looking to do, you're looking to make money with Airbnb this year, the short-term calls is where you want to be at. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. We have not missed a week yet, and it goes all the time. So Yeah, this is I wish this is something I had when I first got started, just having people to rub minds with, to turn those cash flow.
And Chin goes in, guys. I'm gonna be honest. He goes in. If we got a lead, he definitely goes in on it. So I'm gonna get that support. You can definitely join.
Nice, nice, nice. Boom. So these are the numbers right here, man. So because I did not purchase this property, I'm a renter, the best renter you'll ever meet, right? My down payment was $0. To furnish the property and to get people to build it. Like I said, I did not go for the setup whatsoever. I didn't move a box, build a piece of furniture. I didn't tighten anything, no screws, no nothing. $24,000 for the furniture and for the furniture builders. Because this is a rental, also zone commercial, the permit process was a bit more strenuous, right? So my permit fees and fees for to get the permit was $2,000. This house has it, so the city made me, I mean, this house has a tank, so the city made me get a clean the septic tank, and I had to pay for that. I had to pay, and it was so crazy because the guy with the septic told me it's gonna be 450. I was like, oof, I was not expecting that, but I gotta do it. I can't even cost. And as he's going to do it, he said, hey man, there's some tree branches over the septic tank. I gotta charge you extra to cut the tree branches. So that was an extra $200, so you got to all those miscellaneous fees that come up when you're not expecting it. So all in all, permit and everything that came to permit $2,000. So I'm all in 26K. Monthly expenses, my rent is 2,400. Utilities and internet, which is like electricity and water, it's gonna be 500, and internet as well. So operations, cleaning and operation includes like my software costs to have everything automated. Um, what else? Lawn care, cleaners, that's 1,400 a month. And total expenses are gonna be 4,300 for everything, literally every single expense. And then monthly revenue is gonna bring in about $5,400 for estimated cash flow of about 1,100 bucks a month.
Mm.
Nice. So there was some
Love
people.
that rent price. That rent's pretty good.
Yeah, that rent.
Rent for a 2 bath?
Yeah.
I
I
don't know if that's
mean,
up there, but that's good. And you get a month off. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
yeah, like tertiary markets, man, the cost of living is a bit less.
I know. Our questions. This I'm excited about. Who came close? Who came 2,400 or 2,600?
Hey, I know this number is not on there, but I heard you guys speaking about it. So the landlord spent $24,000 also just to do the renovations and
Yeah.
yeah, most of it went like cabinets and countertops.
Wow. Yeah, nice, nice one. Because most of them don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's great that you have a relationship that he trusted you to do that. Because most of them be like, all right, you just rented the way it is. Well, I can
Yeah.
get somebody else. I hear that a lot. I can get somebody else. I'm like, all right, then whatever. So yeah, yeah, good stuff. And you got something else you want to share with us, right? I think.
Oh yeah. Yo, it's
Boom.
so cool. Like when I like how to pick not only how to pick a market, but how to pick the perfect product in that market to perform. So if you do all those things right, literally step by step how I say it, you're gonna end up worst case scenario making the money that you projected, but best case scenario making way more money than you ran your numbers on. Like I said, they're gonna make around 5,400 a month. We made like 90% of that injury nights, on the booking. So this is why I love this strategy so much.
Double check when you posted that. I had to double like, hold on. Is that an error?
Well, I had to pull over when I saw this one.
So I was like looking at that, what you put up there. I'm like, wait, I made a month. Look at that. Fire emojis for sure. If you didn't catch it, you didn't. Fire emojis for sure, for sure, for sure. Work in, but you got to put the work in. That,
100%.
that,
Yeah.
that, that's the got to put the work in. And Chin does. So shout out to Chin. Again, you can follow him on all social media platforms. We can get some questions. Put your questions in the chat. We got plenty of time. Follow my boy Jason, Jay Ruff, myself, Ron Carpe. Let's go to Q&A. What you got?
Like I hear you say your strategy is short-term rental, right? But you do other real estate, right?
Right.
Do you feel like, or do you, when you get you automatically running on the short-term rental numbers, And then if that don't work, then you just downgrade to a different strategy. Is that your method?
It depends, it depends on what I'm looking for. So, if I'm looking for a short-term rental, like ahead of time, I already know when I get a lead, I'm running the numbers on that. So it depends on what strategy I'm looking to execute on. Last couple of days I've been looking at properties like just to fix and flip, right? So when I'm looking at those leads, I'm automatically knowing in my head like, okay, this is the strategy I'm looking to execute on, so I'm running my numbers on that. This strategy is the way to go, man, because of the low of cash you have to put up, whether it's your cash or not, compared to other strategies, and the kind of cash flow that you can get back, especially in times where you see that, we're at war and supply is going down and prices are going up. This is the best time to lock in some cash flow, guys. This is definitely the time to lock in some cash flow. So definitely keep learning more of this strategy and come to one of the trainings that we have about short-term rentals because this is the time right now to be stacking up that cash and getting some cash flow and assets.
But I guess I'm gonna ask my first question to Chindu, and I guess it's related to where how you got to where you are now, and you a lot of here just people that want to go get these deals done, and you ask them what's kind of holding them back, and like go knowledge, and then they're the type that say, oh well, I'll figure it out on YouTube, and I'll watch videos, and I'll read these books as opposed to investing in having a mentor maybe or step-by-step procedure. So I guess what I want to ask you, what is your thought process on that scenario? And from you personally, right? Do you still invest money while you're learning, right? Are you still looking to learn more? Or like, where are you at with this as far as, investing money into your knowledge to do what you do?
Gotcha. Yeah, I love this question. Yeah. So the great thing about books is that you get a lot of wisdom. You get in different topics, but the challenge is there's no one to speak to about what you're learning in the book, right? Same thing on YouTube, like just learning about all these various topics, but having no one to speak to about it. You can't write the author, you can't write the YouTube, the one who's making the video to get like a real dedicated back-to-back conversation about your concern, right? So just yes, learning, YouTube, books, courses, workshops, mentorship. I do all of it, but I also can speak to people actively doing strategies and, learn from what I learned in the book and then what they've learned and experienced in real life. So I can kind of just comb my own path and just sharpen myself up. So it's a mix of all of it. It's not just the books, it's not just the YouTube, it's the books, the YouTube, mentorship, which is really, really key, especially for me. And just being around people who's actively doing it, actively speaking about the strategy so you can, speed up your process. And yeah, I definitely still invest in my knowledge today. I was told early, never stop doing that, never stop learning. Like in fact, next month I'm going to a conference in April, a real estate and business conference. I think I spent like 4K on just on the ticket, because I know the people that's gonna be there and the things I'm gonna learn, that 4K is gonna be well worth the investment and it's a write-off, right? So that's even better.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great thing that many people may not look at it as, right? You take that investment into your business, but you can write that off, right? So it's a business expense. So, that's cool. All right. Thank you. And do you know about on average, like what you spend per, well, not spend, invest in a year, just getting better, right? Better systems, information, knowledge. You have an idea, indication of what that looks like for you?
So I think last year I spent like 15K on just like, I guess personal,
Mm,
but a rule that I was taught, and I got this from a book, it was like every year, no matter how much money you make, you should be investing about 3% of your income in growth, right? Whether
right.
it's workshops, networking events, books, trainings, just like spend money on you. Like a lot of people's trying to get into real estate and stocks, but they won't invest in themselves. The best ROI producing product investment that you have is yourself. So, if it makes sense and I need it, and mainly when I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck and I can't figure out what the next level looks like. I'm not afraid to pay for speed, whether I got it or not, because I went to college and I ain't have it. I spent 40K, bro. And education for your business is the only thing you can write off. I wish I can write off my 40K tuition that they keep sending me letters about. But
That's
yeah,
good.
definitely keep investing in yourself and your business and that mentorship so you can speed up your process.
All right, cool. Thank you. So I'm gonna get to the questions. Would the landlord have sold this property if you made the offer?
Nah, he wouldn't have. I know for sure that's not in their business model.
So, Brian, again, if any, what are some of your amenities that you think about adding in the future?
The only amenities I would add in this house that I could think of right now would be king beds. Like I would place the two beds with king beds and also a hot tub because there's definitely more than enough space back there to put a hot tub and have privacy.
Jackie wants to know a good question because we talk about and I know it was like, oh, don't worry about the money, but we know always people are worrying about the money, right? I don't have $24,000 for no renovations and another 2 grand for permits. I don't have it. So Jackie wants to know, well, then how the heck did you access the funds you needed for this project?
Yeah, so I had no liquid cash of my own. In fact, right, I tried to make this a management deal, right? Management deals are great for this strategy because you can, have the skill of finding the property, negotiating the deal, and then inserting somebody else and you manage it for them, no risk. No risk, no money needed, no nothing. But the person was taking too long, right? They was taking too
Hmm.
long to make a decision, and then I had someone else who was gonna invest in it, and then he got cold feet at the last minute. It was his first deal, so it was like, you know what? I have a business line of credit that I got, I think like a month ago or so, and I was just like, okay, cool. So I'll just use the business line of credit to fund, the furniture purchase and the permits and the labor, things like that. So I just got a line of credit from the bank, do my business, no personal guarantee, no nothing.
So for you, what did make you want to do something like this, being it was commercial when you typically do residential? Like what I'm saying, what was running through your mind? Like what made you decide, yeah, like did you just have the vision? Like what were you going through when you looked at this property? Think that you could do this type of conversion, being it was commercial?
Gotcha. I was thinking about long term, right? Just seeing how the city is going with short-term rental regulations and how they're trying to limit the amount of short-term rentals in residential areas. So it's getting really hard to get permits now. So knowing that it's getting hard to get permits, two things happened. One, people stop trying, right? And two, people start complaining. So I know that if people stop trying to enter this market, because the city is making it harder. If I can understand the regulations down to the T and not find a loophole, but just figure out what's in the regulations that I can actually comply with, then I would be golden, because I wouldn't get priced out over time by new people entering the market, right? The supply is not going to grow that much, which means I still can take over this market, corner the market. So knowing that I got that commercial zoning house, I know that I'm good like forever as long as I keep signing my lease. Like I'm good there forever to do short-term rentals and there's going to be no other new houses coming on this market. So it was kind of like a long-term play. I know if I can get it at the right price, if I can make it look how the market needs that, I will never get like no one's going to compete with me. Like it's just going to be impossible for new demand to kind of flush me out.
And just real quick, do you know the reason why they decided to not use it for the assisted living anymore? Because this usually people say that that's a good cash flowing business as well. So I guess do you know what happened?
Yeah, so it was the tenant, the previous tenant who was leasing it for assisted living. So
Mm.
the landlord inherited the tenant when they bought it 4 years ago, and the tenant was already having an assisted living business there that she was doing arbitrage on. So she, I just guess she just stopped and and just packed up and ended her lease. And it was cool that
Oh.
she had a business there because the city wanted me to get a survey to prove that my parking, even though it's like very, very clear, right, that I can accommodate 4 cars in the driveway and the property line is not shared with the house next door. And that survey was like $2,400, bro. And I was like, yo, there's no way I'm paying that. So it was cool that she had a business there previously because the city let me use her survey that she had on file because she was already a business and they require all businesses to do it. So that was pretty cool. I got to use her survey and we cleared that up and I was able to get my permit.
Cool. Okay, thank you. So Alvin says, congrats to you, Chin. Do you think replacing the full-size bed with the king-size bed will make a significant difference in cash flow?
Yeah, 100% because I'll be first choice, like out of all of the first choices, I'll be one of the first choices. Like right now, yes, I have like nice amenities in my properties, but to someone who doesn't care about that stuff, right? I'm gonna lose to people who have more king beds than me. So I definitely think getting that king bed will increase that cash flow and that ADR. I just don't know when I'm gonna do that yet.
Cool. Greg asked a question we already answered about the funding. Did you use creative or alternative sources to fund it? He said alternative business credit line. Alvin says he was surprised you covered the cost for refreshing the septic tank. Shouldn't the landlord be responsible for the septic tank? That's
I
a good
mean, he
question.
didn't have to. Like there was nothing wrong with the septic. The city just wanted me to prove that the septic has been serviced within the last 3 years. And that was like, so how Chris Albin, one of our instructors, he said you got to figure out what the challenge is and who the challenge belongs to. That was my challenge, right? That wasn't the landlord's challenge. So because it was my challenge, it was something I had to pay for.
Well, I guess maybe deeper to what he's asking is probably is you had to do that in order to get the license.
Yeah,
So that's the probably that's probably the point that he's missing. So
gotcha.
it was a huge challenge, like you just said, not the landlord.
Yeah, because the septic was fine, it didn't even need to be flushed out, but the landlord didn't have any paperwork that said it's been serviced within the last 3 years. So to get the permit, I definitely needed that to present that to the city.
All right. Yep, yep. Good question, Alvin. Ryan says, so how do you feel about shrinking your company by introducing competition, excuse me, by introducing an amenity that's not already in the market?
I mean, I do that now. Like for example, with the massage chairs, and then I also have that movie room now, which I'm really pushing for that to be the reason people are attracted to this house, especially during football game days. Um, so yeah, that's my amenity that the market doesn't have. Like I introduced having massage chairs to this market and some other small stuff, kind of like arcade machines and things and like a game room. But yeah, that's always the goal to introduce the market that to something that they don't have yet or have a lot of.
Lisa asks, have you seen any other STRs with the wheelchair that are wheelchair accessible? And do you think this might increase your cash flow?
Nice. Yeah, I have not seen another STR that's wheelchair accessible other than it just being a one-story house that has no stairs to enter the house. No, nothing with a ramp, nothing with this much space, nothing with this much parking. The backyard goes deep. Like there's just so much land and acres that come with this house. So, that was another reason why I took it because of the amenities you can't buy on Amazon, right? Like you can't just pick up and go buy a wheelchair ramp or pick up and buy some more acres or more space to park on your property. So that was another thing that attracted me to this house.
That's a big thing of how accessible are you? People will search out that. So that's, again,
Hmm.
that's another way you could really shrink your competition. Pretty fly.
So I got a question. So explain the $1,400 software and how important that is in reference to the revenue.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know, guys, or the people who are aspiring to do this strategy, but I did not get into this business, be answering guests, answering phone calls, pricing strategist, upping my customer service skills, or any of that. I got into this business to create experiences and make money. All that others comes with it, it just comes with it, right? So that software is key because I can be on the phone with you guys right now uninterrupted and the business is still flowing. I don't have to worry about being underpriced, about overpriced. I don't have to worry about my occupancy. I don't have to worry about answering messages or putting out fires, so that operational cost is key because now I get to run it like a business and not, like a mom and pop or, just randomly being attached to my phone and doing just like low value stuff. So if I can get it delegated for like $80, $100, and it's well worth the investment.
Well, you said 1,400, so I'm thinking like how
Okay.
many
Yeah,
is
there's
It's
other
other
stuff in there,
stuff.
like the cleaning team, so I'm not out here like I know some hosts who clean property just to save money on that, but it's like, man, like I'm not a cleaner, right? There's people out there who love that stuff. So not only do I get to get a delegate, I get to stimulate the economy and let people build their own business. Like my cleaning team is building their own business, servicing me and other hosts. So, a lot of people get to make money on this one transaction. So it's cleaning in there, maintenance, lawn care. The lawn care guy makes money because I'm not mowing no grass, right? Especially not from New York. And so just the team, everybody who keeps the deal running so I can focus on what's important. So you can focus on the things that actually move the needle. Those are the team and they get compensated for their efforts. So it's very key to have that so you're not, wearing multiple hats.
Everybody eat.
Everybody, man.
All right, this is a pretty good question. How do you combat monthly rent and expenses if or when your rentals are not cash flowing?
Gotcha. Man, you're gonna love the summit, bro. If whoever asks, you're gonna love the summit because I go into detail about like cash flow preservation and how to make sure you never run out of money, right? So, because cash flow is king, right? Cash flow is king. So, you definitely need that cash flow for every season. But one of the ways I do it is I enter the market uh during a good time. So knowing this market, like I said, I signed this lease in November, but I started it in January and I had a month free. So I know high season starts at the end of February. So just joining at the right time, like joining the market at the right time works. Also running your numbers right before you sign the lease. So I'm never gonna do a deal if I have a doubt in my mind or I'm even questioning myself if I'm going to be able to keep up with the expenses or not. Like the house has to pay for itself. And then just keeping some money, right? Like if I'm making a lot of money in high season, knowing low season's coming around, I'm gonna put some to the side just to survive those slow times. So there's many ways to go from, I'm concerned about meeting expenses to, I don't worry about that at all.
Not even a concern in his
Mm.
business model. Um, and then he shows you actual numbers that he's already created from this deal. So
I think I got like 4 bookings so far in this unit since we went
nights?
live.
And
This is the biggest though.
this is the biggest one.
Yeah.
3 whole nights. Oh my
Nice.
Three
Those
whole
those
goodness.
is
nights. That's
those
the
is
that's the crazy part. I love this. Do that math. Do that math.
yeah. And they say we in a recession, people paying $1,800 a night.
Well, people going to
What
work
month is this? What month is that?
all week
This is
long.
May, bro. This for graduation.
Oh, yes, right. Okay.
Hmm.
so there you go.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
anyway, shout out to Big Chin, my inspiration. This guy's been killing it. Always good to learn. Always has a nugget, and just always thinking of creative ways to make things happen. Definitely try to get in a room with this gentleman. Try to speak to him. I don't care what you got to do. I think the guy's a wealth of knowledge, and so is most of our team. Follow us. We're all real people, doing real transactions, real things.